Captain's log, stardate 3211.7. As I gaze out into the stars, I'm reminded of just how much I miss Earth. The fields of grass, the real, non-artificial air, and most of all, the 4-ply toilet paper. We only packed 2-ply. But now, as I orbit the Kuiper Belt, I wonder, what's that smell?
Will, dinner's ready.
Space Crew is a survival management sim that I will never stop calling Starfleet, despite it having no relation to Star Trek outside of the obvious influences. Taking orders from the United Defense Force, you set off into space to help protect the Earth from the alien phasmoid menace, whilst also fixing your ever-breaking ship and navigating the uncharted regions of the galaxy. This is a management sim though, so you won't be firing, fixing, and flying. That responsibility is on your crew. Your crew of 6 each have their own assigned roles and jobs. From your engineer to your gunners, you'll need to keep tabs on them all to run a tight ship. But all crew members can perform all tasks, just not as well as their assigned roles. So if you're running short on hands, your comms officer can pop outside and fix the engine. He just might not be the fastest at it. So there's a bit at play here, but the game keeps it simple with an easy to understand design and control scheme. I played on console, and without a keyboard and mouse, that can sometimes be pretty finicky with these sorts of games. Thankfully, not so here. A simple button press will allow you to cycle through each crew member, scoping out of the ship will help to target those nasty phasmoids, and an easy point and click movement system allows your crew to speedily run across to aid their team. The game's visual design is also just overall fun. Pulling upon a voxel-like design, everything on display is clear yet energetic as your ship gets rattled with blaster fire. Then hey, if you're stuck with this lot in missions upwards of half an hour, you'll want to enjoy seeing their faces. Thankfully, there's some customization on offer here. All members of your team, as well as the ship itself, can receive a bit of a shake-up to their look. Though the scope isn't huge, there's more than enough here to personalize your crew. Alongside aesthetics, you can also upgrade portions of your ship in weapons, engines, and the like, as well as teaching your crew new abilities on top of their ever-upgrading skills. Whilst it's not a deep amount of customizing, spending time tailoring your crew certainly forms a bit of an attachment to their blocky souls, so much so that there is a lot on the line in combat. If a crew member is down during a mission, that's it for them. You've lost that member and all their progress and upgrades. Sure, you can just pick up a new recruit back at base, but they'll generally start at rank 1, with only basic abilities on offer. As much as it pains me, for the good of the review, I took the plunge into a high-risk mission. That mission? Rescue a communication probe. Mere minutes in, we were already under fire, but apart from a brief skirmish, we were holding steady. But after our next jump, less so. It was on the Kuiper Belt that the crew fell. Phasmoids stormed the ship, whilst others continued their exterior assault. One by one, the crew fell, until it was just Merritt and Schmidt left. With the comms probe now out of reach, Merritt sent Schmidt back to base in an escape pod as she began the long journey home. Ship burning, Merritt took down hordes of phasmoid foes, and even when it looked dire, single-handedly got the ship back to base. We lost a lot of good fighters that day, but thankfully we just picked up a few new ones back at base. Oh boy, you guys have no idea. One bad move and you've lost a whole heap of progress. It's very much on the risk-reward end of gameplay. And whilst you could just play a few low-risk missions and level up your crew, it just didn't feel worth it to me. With no ongoing story or campaign endgame in sight, trying to push through the higher risk missions just to earn more loot and upgrades wasn't a satisfying gameplay loop. Plus, after your first few missions, it very much became blow up baddies, get thing, blow up baddies, and go home, and that got old pretty fast. Space Crew is certainly one of the more manageable sims I've played, with tight gameplay and fairly intuitive controls. But it's not overly deep, so hardcore survival fans will need to look elsewhere. Though in the few missions I boldly went on, I still had fun, so I'm giving Space Crew 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.